But it's and it's available here today. And I think we're selling it, right?
We'll make an announcement.
We'll make an announcement. Okay. Now this book took me 10 years to write. I started it, and I knew what I wanted to write about, and I would write a little bit, and for some reason I would drift off, and actually I wrote 2 other books while this one was in the wings, waiting to be written. And so you can see it was always there, right? It's up here on my shelf or in my computer, sort of taunting me. You have to write this, you have to write this, you have to write this. And I did. I eventually wrote that book. It is the story of a man who is born in 1929. He's born in a shack outside of Crystal City, Texas. He becomes part of the migrant farm stream. He travels around the country as a child in the migrant farm stream. He eventually gets out of that, does a number of things, door-to-door salesman, things like that, until he falls in love, goes to jail. Again, familiar plot maybe. But in the 60s, he's working, he's got a job, he's got a family, and he becomes involved with a politician who promises great things, but of course can't deliver. But Ramon is kind of idealistic at that point, and he latches onto that politician and goes forward. He eventually becomes a leader of the Chicano movement, and he crosses paths with Cesar Chavez, and people like Martin Luther King, and then there's a downfall, of course. So that's the king of the Chicanos. My latest manuscript that is now with my agent, and we hope to have somebody buy it here sometime this year, is called Desperado, and it features Gus Corral, who's a character from my short story, The Skull of Pancho Villa. And that's in the book Hit List, which Arte Publico was selling here. And Gus is another down-and-out guy in the north side of Denver, but he becomes involved in some of the politics that are going on in today's Denver. And it's crime fiction again, and I'm happy that I'm returning to that. Flo is signaling that I probably should wrap it up, and I'm happy to do that. I want to finish with just a couple of things, a couple of thoughts about Latino writers. Whether it's obsession, preservation, generating change, the need to tell stories that only we know, that only we can tell. That's what our literature is about. And I honestly believe that it's getting better and better. The times are not easy. Publishing is facing a crisis. Libraries are getting cut back. It's difficult to get published. The e-book publishing change is affecting writers and booksellers, libraries in different ways. It may be an opportunity. It certainly could open up many more doors to communities that don't have access necessarily to books. And I know many libraries, I have an e-book reader where I can check out books from my library on that reader. So times are hard, but we're writing about everything that other writers write about, and we're also writing about things that they would never think about writing. And that's what makes us so important. That's what makes us vital to the culture in this country, because we do have a different voice, we do have a different view, and yet we're telling human stories that any other human can relate to. So this has been my pleasure, and thank you very much.
Okay, if I could have Jimena Sagas. Jimena is Manuel's ambassador today, and she'd like to make an announcement.
I just wanted to announce to let you know that Manuel will be signing his book, King of the Chicanos, after this lunch from 1:30 to 2. If you want, you can follow us up and march upstairs with us to the, upstairs on the mezzanine level in the McCourt room. We will be able to take cash or checks. Sorry, we cannot take credit cards. And there is an ATM on the entrance level near the Starbucks. There will be, well, this was a few minutes or about an hour ago, so I know this has changed. There will be 40 books available for sale, which I know many are gone. But if there are any books left, you could find them at the Cultural Legacy booth number 17, Arte Público number 22, and also, as Mr. Ramos mentioned, Wings has published ebooks. You can check it out on their website. And that's it.
We're giving away some books, so in your napkin, if you have my card that has the cover of King of the Chicanos, you get it.
Thank you very much, Manuel, and thank you folks for coming, and do join him for the book signing. Thank you very much.